much, Jacqueline and Electra. It's certainly an opportunity, wonderful opportunity again to be able to be on the Electra James Inspirational Talk Show, as well as to be partnered with Electra James and Jacqueline as we share Pass the Mic. What a great intervention, creative idea that was started right here on Electra James Inspirational Talk Show. So I'm excited to be a part of your conversation today and be a part of your life today. Thank you for joining us in the room as we talk about the 2022 November midterm election. Believe it or not, we are 2 weeks away. We are 2 weeks away from early voting. Early voting starts October 24th, and it goes through November the 4th. Early voting is October 24th through November the 4th, and election date is November the 8th. And so we are 2 weeks away from early voting, which means right now is the most crucial time for every voter to gather the necessary information to have the facts, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now is such an important time. So let me share some facts with you. Facts is, my name is William H. King III, and I am a candidate for the Galveston County Judge position. Fact is, I am the best of the two candidates that's on the ballot for the Galveston County Judge position. Let me tell you why. I've served 21 years as a city councilman in the city of Dickinson. I've served 8 years on the board of Houston Galveston Area Council, representative from the caucus of HGAC, so home rule cities. I've served as a vice chair, chair-elect, and chairman of the board. We've processed billions of dollars coming in from the federal government into the COG, local council of governments, in the local 13-county region, working with county judges, county commissioners, working with school board trustees, working with city councilmen, working with leaders of these counties in order to receive the funds necessary to address the issues related to their citizens so they can enjoy the quality of life services. We are the better of the two candidates because we have the leadership of government. We've served for 21 years. We've processed billions of dollars. We've made sure we balanced budgets. We've made sure we provided a lowering of taxes. We've built facilities, the City Hall Water District facility. We built the library for Dickinson. We built the fire station through the assessment of the needs of the citizens on the east side of Highway 3. We made sure those citizens on the east side of the railroad tracks of Highway 3 and Dickinson and 517 had a fire station. In the event a train would be passing, they would already have a fire truck on that side, and it would be staffed so that people could have that particular fire issue addressed, thereby lowering the fire rating for the community and decreasing the premium for fire insurance. I am the better of the two candidates because I have leadership experiences. I am an extrovert and not an introvert. I know how to communicate and articulate my thoughts. And most important, when you're a leader, you got to know how to listen. I know how to listen to the people. I have a pulse of the people as a passion for my leadership. So I listen to the people. I'm able to communicate and articulate thoughts that they convey to me in order to create plans and policies that will better enhance the citizens that I represent as your next Galveston County Judge. Not only that, but I've served 27 years as a chaplain with the Dickinson Police Department. I've serviced Texas City. I've serviced Lamarck. I've serviced League City. I've serviced the agencies in our area, which means I know how to work with fire and EMS. I know how to work with police officers. I know how to work with citizens. And not only that, I've served 30 years as a pastor, 30 years as a pastor of the Greater New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. Built a brand new facility, $2 million facility right there in League City. And so I provided leadership that's accountability and transparent. I've exercised common sense in leadership, just kind of giving you some credentials. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I am a leader in the community, an activist in the community. And so I understand the ebbs and flows of society and how you have to be adjustable to the things that your community is facing. And so therefore, I am the better of the two candidates. I've served 10 years in the United States Marine Corps. I am a combat veteran of the United States Marine Corps, Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield. I love this country. I love this nation. I love this state. I love this county. I love the city I live in. And so therefore, I have a purpose here, and my purpose is to service people, and that has been my passion for decades. I am the better of the two candidates. Need I say any more about my opponent? Does not even measure or meet the capacity of caliber of leadership that I bring to the table. So as your next Galveston County judge, know the facts. The facts is that I am the most qualified of the two candidates. Fact number two, that I will provide on day one the leadership this county needs to get it out of the muck and the blemish and the dimness that it's in as a result of the Department of Justice lawsuit against the county. Why has the Department of Justice sued Galveston County? Why has Galveston County been under any number of lawsuits over the last few decades? Is because of the poor leadership we've had in the current county judge. So I am the better to lead people so that we are able to make decisions that does not compel the county to be brought into frivolous, unnecessary lawsuits. What was the lawsuit about? That mere fact that he wanted to exercise leadership for a party rather than the people. You might get elected by a party, but you can't govern like a party. You have to service all the citizens for which you represent. And that's why I've been able to work with independents, Republicans, and Democrats, because the important thing of leadership is understanding the pulse of the people, understanding the needs of the people. And thereby I've been able to provide a resource. So therefore the county was sued because he decided on a party basis, he would, doing redistricting, after the census, he would gerrymander, meaning he would cut the precincts in a way that it would be favorable for one party over another. So he took a majority minority precinct and made it a 55% Republican precinct. Unconscionable, just unbelievable that you would use your power and abuse your position in order to twist the voting lines so that it would eliminate the majority minority representative for that particular commissioner's court and place someone of your choice, your party selection. That's not how we operate in our democracy. Yes, Texas was a Republican, yes, but we now have democracy in the Republic, so that we're able to all cohabitate and all collaborate in a way that's civil and reasonable and intelligible. And that's the kind of leader you have in William H. King III, someone who can do the right thing day one, without having to be second guessed and questioned as to whether I operated based upon principle or operated based upon party. And so you'll have a person here that will not bring us into a lawsuit from the Department of Justice because I tried to create precincts that favored my party, but you'll have someone who will lead us and guide us to higher ground, to greater character, greater class, and greater quality of services. And so that's in William H. King III. Unlike the current county judge, who's twice now been brought to the carpet by the Department of Justice. Why did that happen? Because in 2013, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act provided provisions and protections that made sure all redistricting maps had to be submitted for examination and passing so that no one would be subject to gerrymandering, and you wouldn't have taxation without representation. It's just so important to have the facts, to have the truth. And I'm here today through the Electra James Inspirational Talk Show with Jacqueline and Electra, sharing with you just the facts, the reality of why we're in this lawsuit. And then you need to understand that you're going to have someone who's going to be common sense to leadership, who's going to bring accountability to leadership, who's going to bring transparency to leadership. Transparency in the reality, I'm not going to use a bag to kind of toss out thoughts that I'm decreasing taxes when the reality is we're paying more in taxes today than we were 3 years ago, than we were 4 years ago. Every year since our current county judge has been in office, we are paying more and more and more in taxes. The appraised values have doubled. As a result, you're paying higher in taxes. You could have done something like no new revenue, but he's done it at such a snail's pace while the appraised value are going at jet-like speed, Mach speed, that we are not able to restrain citizens from paying more in taxes and no new revenue. But we will bring the kind of leadership to Galveston County so that you'll be able to know that there is leadership that's truly working on your behalf, truly fighting for you. Why did I say that? Because in the state of Texas, our state legislature meets during an odd number of years. So the county judge should have sent a letter to the state representatives requesting no new revenue and requesting that the appraisal district begin to adjust the way they appraise the values of properties and homes in the state of Texas. But they sent it in 2022. Now, in 2022, that's an even number year. So no brainer, kids in junior high knows that. You send a letter when the legislators are in office, or you send it toward the end of an even number year, so that when they get to office, they start working on processing bills at the end of an even number year, so that when the odd number year comes in, they come in to meet, they start sorting through bills, they start addressing the bills. But you don't send the mail when you know they're not there. If you truly, honestly want to do something about it. And so I will work honestly and sincerely. I will work with dedication to fight and to work for you to get you the best in cent and what you pay for taxes. My name is William H. King III. And you heard enough already. You can go to kingforcountyjudge.com, kingforcountyjudge.com, and you can log in there to say, hey, I'll knock on doors with you. I'll make phone calls with you. I'll go out and reach and have community organized meetings for people to talk to you. Or I'll be a part of raising money to help pay for your communication with the citizens of Galveston County. I want to be a part of a winning team. And that's people being a part of the King's team of Galveston County Judge campaign. And so I want to make sure you're aware of the facts. The third fact I want to share with you is not just that I am the best of two candidates. It's not just the fact the embarrassment we face as a county being sued twice by the Department of Justice, but the mere fact that he cannot take care of the people who take care of the county. For example, our sheriff's department. For example, our district attorney's office. For example, our clerk's office. For example, the people who work for Galveston County. Oftentimes underpaid. And then you want to wait until the end of an election cycle, and then you want to throw some money at them, maybe $500 or $1,000. Those type of bonuses may be significant for my Christmas gifts, but it doesn't take care of cutting the bacon and putting the bacon on the table so that I can operate every week, every month of the year. So when you give people bonuses and not give them a salary increase, then they get behind with their salary rate based upon the growth of inflation. So the more you're growing for as inflation is concerned, your salary has to be competitive to keep up in order for you to sustain the quality of life that job has given you the opportunity to afford. And so it puts you in a bad financial economic position so that you're not able to contend. I will be the county judge, as I did in the city of Dickinson, to always make sure our employees were able to have cost of living adjustments, that would give them a 3% increase in their salary. So no matter if the inflation was rising at 2% or 4%, it would still give them the competitive edge to meet inflation with their salary increase. So that you don't wait 4 or 5 years from giving salary increases, and where that $500 may have been nice for a Christmas gift or Christmas bonus, it didn't cut the mustard. It didn't put meat on the table. It didn't help pay the light bill, didn't help continue to pay the mortgage and the higher taxes that you're being charged, as well as the insurances that's going up with it. We've got to be smart when you're in leadership to work better before the government, because in the end, you're going to have to make a salary adjustment, and it's going to cost you more in the long run for your failed leadership in the past. And no one should have to pay for the county judge's lack of leadership. And so William H. King III will give you that kind of accountability, transparency, and common sense leadership of doing the right thing. That our deputies are not being paid properly. Our jailers are not being paid properly. Our attorneys in the district attorney's office, whether they're working defense or whether they're working as far as for those individuals in the county that come to the courts that doesn't have the resources to hire an attorney, and an attorney has to be provided for them, then you want to make sure they have attorneys that truly represents the people who may not have the economic wherewithal. Well, who are they normally? Well, they mainly are your minorities who don't have the proper representation. If a minority doesn't have proper representation because the caliber of attorneys are such a degree that they can't get paid well enough to be able to provide the services to their clients, then your minorities who are finding themselves in need of an attorney based upon facing a court, a judge, are not going to be given proper legal representation. In other words, we're setting a system up to fail. We are better than that. We're bigger than that. We are brighter than that. We're going to do the right thing. That's why we're going to vote for King, because we're going to do the right thing. But the district attorney's office has lost over a dozen attorneys in the last year because they can't get the proper salary. And poor Jack Rhoda has not been able to fight well enough or hard enough to get the resources to the staff that he needs. In other words, his department has gotten decline in staff and resources, and therefore by it weakens the department. Thereby mistakes can be made, cases can be overturned because you don't have the proper capacity, caliber of attorneys representing you. So we just want to do the right thing across the board to look at all of our departments, whether it be streets, whether it be roads and bridges, whether it be the tax office, whether it's the courts, whether it's the DA's office, whether it's those who are working for our sheriff's department. We're going to make sure we work with those elected officials to make sure we do it as best with the money we have available. With the money we have available, we're going to say to our citizens, we're going to do the right thing. We're going to make sure we meet the needs, and then we're going to make sure you get the proper services and the quality of services that you so well deserve. We're going to fight on your behalf as the Galveston County Judge. We're going to do the right thing. And my name is William H. King III. I'm the candidate for Galveston County Judge, and I want you to have the facts. My final fact, fourth and final fact, is that there's no need for you to fear anyone. There's no need for you to fear anything. There's a lot of rhetoric, and that's all it is, rhetoric, negative talk, negative innuendos, negative statements, negative comments, only to try to discourage your heart, your passion. You know now is the time. You know a change is needed. You know we have got to make a turn in the right direction in Galveston County. And so there's an attempt to get in your head to make you feel like, oh, there's people going to defund the police. Oh, no, this is going to happen if you vote these people out of office. Oh, listen, nothing's going to happen. This nation has been going through elections for decades, for centuries. We've had elections. And that's what happens when people are not doing what's right in office. What do? We vote them out. We put some new blood in, some fresh blood in. And so it's important that you understand the importance of engaging the process of making the change we need in Galveston County, and making the change we need in the state of Texas, and making the change we need in this country. It's enough. It's enough with that far right wing ideology and chaos. It's time for us to stand up as citizens of the United States of America in Galveston County and do what is right for all residents, for all citizens, for what's best for our county. And let's do the right thing and vote for William King. I'm your candidate for Galveston County Judge, King for countyjudge.com, King for countyjudge.com. So I've shared with you that I'm the best of the two candidates. I told you why. I shared with you the importance for us being able to cast our ballots in October 24th through November the 4th, and then November the 8th on Election Day. I shared with you the facts about the tragedy leadership we've had in the current county judge and the kind of leadership I will bring. I will focus on flood mitigation, resiliency, economic development, sustainability, accountability, and transparency in leadership. My name is William H. King III. I'm your candidate for Galveston County Judge, and I'm excited to be on the ticket to be the person who will be the next Galveston County Judge. I'm the first representative from the party to run against Mark Henry, the current county judge, and I will be the one to win because you will go to the polls and you'll bring mama and daddy and sister and brother and grandma and grandpa and uncle and aunt and niece and nephew and neighbor and coworker and beautician and barber. You will encourage everyone you know. Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls and let's vote and show them that lives matter. Women's matter. Women lives matter. Children lives matter. Health insurance matters. Our taxes matter. Your lack of leadership is concerning, and it does matter to our existence. So William H. King III, your candidate for Galveston County Judge. Let's go vote and let's win this election.
Let's go vote.
Let's go vote. Yeah, if you don't go vote after that, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was good. You got fired up. You fired up and ready to go.
I'm gonna tell you, I have a thought in my head, and you know, what does it take for a person not to just be a bystander? What does it take for a person to exercise their rights as a citizen and vote? What does it take? And I don't think it happens overnight. It doesn't. I remember a particular instance when I was in high school. I was in ROTC at James Madison, and James Madison High School.
Yeah,
I was at
Madison.
ROTC, and there was a particular time that it was up on the vote to take away funding for extracurricular stuff. And so I don't know what the details were. That's all I knew is we needed to get people to go out there and vote. And so we went out there and we met cars on the road, and we did all that stuff. And that was the first time. And I think I was in the 11th grade, maybe the 12th grade. And that was the first time in my life that I heard anything about what we vote today matters in our local community today.
Yes. Yes.
And I wonder what it's going to take. How many of Electra's viewers can still say they don't know?
Wow.
They don't know how important it is, or they don't think it's important. It's so important.
Very.
And I'll tell you, Reverend King, even though that happened when I was in like the 11th grade, my parents never discussed voting with me.
Wow.
I'm sure they went and voted, but they never discussed it. But I was in my 20s before I voted for the first time. And
wow.
There was some fear in it, to tell you the truth. It was like, am I doing it right? Anybody who's from a lower middle class, maybe not even up into the middle class family, probably feels the same way. There's a little bit of fear. What if I do it wrong? What if I mess things up? You can't mess them up. You can only make it better. Your vote can only make it better. And I think that's not something that I think there are probably a lot of people out there who are afraid of voting. Afraid, just like I was afraid. I was afraid that it would come back on me somehow, that I would, and I don't know. I have no clue, no clue at all. But I remember being terrified the first time I went to a poll to vote.
Wow.
I don't know what I thought was going to happen. And then, of course, after that, I've been a consistent voter for my entire life. But
yeah.
It was scary.
I believe that's why having Reverend King on, Jackie, every week, that calms some of those fears. We don't know how many people fears he's calming by coming on, because I can say this. Congratulations, not to just myself and Jackie, but we owe you a lot of credit, Reverend King, because since you've been coming on, I saw the impressions on yesterday. I saw the impressions. They were at 12,000 and something. Guess what? I saw them today. They had 21,000 and something.
Wow.
But here's
and
the
that's
thing.
you.
And that's you. So you are making an impact. I don't want you to feel like, when they say to, like Jackie was saying before you came on tonight, kudos to Reverend King, because he's been requested by YouTube. See, YouTube has to do that, to watch you on TV. YouTube does that. That's out of our control. Yeah, they make that decision because you are making impressions.
They put your interview on YouTube TV. It's one of the options on YouTube TV. It's your interview. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Last week.
You all are the engineers. Jacqueline and Electra, you are the engineers. Congratulations.
Congrats to Electra. She's the pipeline. She's got the straight talk from God and lets us know. Yeah.
But I'm like this. Without you all, I'm nothing. People don't tune in to see just me. People tune in because they know. And when God gave this vision to me, he gave it at a time when I said, I'm sitting here during the pandemic, And I said, people are going through depression and going through anxiety. And Jackie could tell you, because I was in the process of writing my book, which now one of my nieces have put me in contact with a producer. So I'm just gonna let that go how it go. You know, I ain't gonna make myself sit behind it. But here's the thing. I said these words to God, and I need you to really listen to this, Reverend King, because I want to say this before the world, and I mean it. I said, God, I had tears in my eyes. I said, people are going through all kinds of things, and only ones getting to tell their stories are celebrities. We need people, everyday people, to be able to tell their stories. And I would talk to Jackie, and I was telling her what I wanted to do. And I had people that doubted me, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't matter how long it takes. When God does something, he just does it in his time. I'm saying to you, listen to me closely. I know you're a pastor and everything, but I want you to get this tonight. So I laid it on my heart. You never been afraid of winning. Ever since you've been coming out. And I know, because God showed that to me. And you know why? Because you don't want that bill of regret. That bill of regret, you don't want it. If you think winning is a challenge, and it is a challenge. But God said, because you following him, I'm not just going to bless you. I'm going to bless Electra James Inspirational Talk with 2,714 more people as viewers. So you should pat yourself on the back. You,
that's right. That's
I'm
right.
telling you, with these conversations for the candidate, 2,714 more viewers because of you. Because of you. I like to give people their flowers while they're living. And when I say
that is
powerhouse, Reverend King, you don't know it, but you a powerhouse. Let me say this, then I'm gonna pass the mic back to you. I'm telling you, when I see you, I see Obama, I see Martin Luther King, I see Malcolm X, I see Al Sharpton, I see the Jesse Jacksons, I see the people, the Mega Evers, all of that is on the inside of you. I pray that you never forget that. You are a powerhouse. And that's what.
And you know who, you want to know who I see? Yes, I see Malcolm X and I see Jesse Jackson, but I see Abraham Lincoln and I see John F. Kennedy and I see Barack Obama, and I believe in those men, and I believe in you because you exude what they believed in, which was equality, strength,
freedom,
and community.
And freedom, Jackie.
That's freedom.
Freedom.
That's what freedom.
You know why? Because you are out here for the Democrats. You want to represent the Democrats, you want to represent the Republicans, and you want to represent the independents. You are not just out here for one party. That's the beauty of it.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's my heart. People are my passion. It doesn't mean you have to be a blue or red. You're people, right? And that's my passion, to take care of the people. And I believe that we can do that as the county judge. We can do the right thing. I've done that for 21 years as a city councilman. I've done that for 30 years as a pastor. I know I have people in our church that are Republicans. I have people in our church that are Democrats, people in our church that are independent. But I service people. Because one thing is for sure, whether you're Democrat, Republican, or independent, you're a human. You're a person. And the needs and service the needs of people. And that's what leadership is all about. It's not about trying to win for the blue team or the red team or the independent team, but it's about trying to win for the American team, for the human team. So as I move forward.
That's what I was going to say. I hear people talking about us and them.
I
hate all that talk about us and them. Let's talk about we. Let's talk about we the people. Let's talk about we. And let's stop talking about us and them, Because as long as we are continuing the rhetoric about us and them, and there are people who are going to take advantage of that. So let's stop. Let's just stop.
Yes.
Let's be a people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's why main leadership brand that we brought to this particular campaign is restoring democracy in Galveston County.
Yes.
The bridge of exactly what Jacqueline just articulated, dividing people, separating people based upon party, race, based upon economic standings, but to bring people together, because a triple braid cord is stronger than a single cord. And so it's important that together, we're stronger, we're better, we're wiser, we can get more accomplished by working together. And that's why I believe it's important that you don't take the people's money and use it for your own party by creating a document justifying the usage, using your power to declare an emergency in Galveston County in order to send money to the border, sending deputies to the border, sending constables to the border, sending troopers to the border, sending resources to the border, trying to stop people from crossing the border when many people lost their lives on that particular assignment. And we've spent hundreds and thousands of dollars doing that, $6.6 million redirected to the border, when the reality is there were no mumps, chickenpox, measles, or COVID coming across the border into Galveston County. We're 1,192 miles away from the border, and yet people allowed the county judge to get away with it, and that's wrong. I'll never abuse my position or my power to justify my party in something that's nonsense. It's unthinkable. I'll never create a court just for myself to try to create a court to do the things I want to do. That's why we have judges. And so as a Galveston County judge, you're an administrative judge. You're not a criminal judge. You're not a probate judge. You're not a civil judge. You're an administrative judge. So I never try to designate a courthouse just for myself at the North Galveston County Annex. It just makes no sense. I'll make sure our veterans, I'll make sure our first responders take care of. I'll make sure our firefighters are taken care of. I'll make sure our drug courts are taken care of. I'll make sure our veterans are taken care of in a veteran court. But I won't try to take on that job. I mean, this county judge he's doing more weddings than a preacher does.
And you know, here's the thing I want to say, Reverend King. I think it's hit to my heart right now. It's hit to my heart. If somebody were to come up to you in the supermarket and say, "Oh, I'm going to do all these good things. Just give me all your money." Would you open your purse and give them your money just because they said so? No, but you did that. They did that to the previous administration because nobody brought him to task about it. We have to be willing to bring our elected officials to task. And that includes you, Reverend King, if you ever don't keep any of those.
That's why we want accountability and transparency in leadership. Absolutely. It's your job as citizens, as voters, as residents of Galveston County, that if I fail to provide transparency, I fail to provide accountability, and I fail to be the leader that I'm telling you I'm going to be, then you bring me to the carpet. You come visit with me. You let me know you did not do this, and I'll say, you know what? You're absolutely right. Here's what you need to know. Here's what we've done.
Yes.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's why we're better together. That's why we're stronger together. When you get angry, if I get angry at you, if I get condescending towards you, if I'm vicious toward you and mean toward you, and I'm evil towards you, then I'm not the leader that you need in the county judge position. Everywhere I go, from Hitchcock to Santa Fe, to Friendswood, to Leaks, Kima, the Clear Lake Shores, the Dickinson, the Texas City, Lamarck, to Tiki Island, Jamaica Beach, to Crystal Beach, everyone has said their experience with this county judge is unpleasant. And it's sad that you have someone who served 12 years and have created that much of a rift in Galveston County. It's time that we have healing in Galveston County. It's time we bring people back together in Galveston County. It's time we work for Galveston County. I'll be in Crystal Beach on Wednesday at noon. They're so excited with me on Wednesday at noon at La Plata's restaurant there on Crystal Beach. They're so excited that I'm coming. Never had leadership that showed up in the last 2 months 4 or 5 times. They never had a county judge visit them. They felt like their stepchildren. I'm going to let them know you're going to be on my top priority.
Yes.
Whether you live in a city 100,000 people or you live in a city with less than 25,000, you still matter to me. That's my dad's gal.
Can I ask you a question? And I know what your answer is going to be, but I want you to say it. Does it matter to you if I live in a mobile home or a mansion?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because you're a resident of Galveston County, whether you live in a mansion that's $1.5 million or you live in a mobile home that's $15,000.
That's right.
You are there and you deserve just as much service as any other citizen. And it's wrong if any leader treats you otherwise.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of accountability and transparency we've got to have in leadership. You hit the nail on the head, Jacqueline. And that's that's the way the people in Crystal Beach feel. That's the way the people in Clear Lake, in San Leon Bay Cliff feel. And I'll be meeting with them as well this later on this week in San Leon Bay Cliff. And I'm grateful. This coming Saturday, I'll be at Calvary Church in Friendswood. I'll be at Calvary Church in Friendswood on Saturday morning, speaking to a group of citizens. And so it's so important that we traverse throughout the county. We're knocking on doors in League City. We're knocking on doors in Dickinson. We're knocking on doors in Galveston. We're knocking on doors in Texas City. We're knocking on doors in Lamar. We're texting. We're sending out Facebook posts, TikToks, Instagrams. We're reaching out to every citizen in Galveston County to say, we are ready to vote, and here's the reason why. And you've got to vote, and why. And it's time for a change, and here's the reason why. You are the ones. Our government constitution allows us to have change and move in the right direction because you are that important. That our government says they put the power in the hands of the people. As Jacqueline says, we, the people, are the ones to determine which direction we're going in. And now we're ready to say, enough is enough.
That's
we're
right.
not going in, we're not going backwards 150 years. We're not going backwards to the 1900s. We're not going backwards to the late 1800s. We're not going backwards to the 1950s. We're moving forward.
That's right.
We're going to get rid of the old.
Bring in the new. That's right. You again, I go back to what I said to you earlier. The challenge of winning is a challenge, but you don't want that bill for regret. And what you are saying on tonight, you doing everything you can, Reverend King, to earn the votes. You're earning the votes. You're not saying just vote for me. You are earning the votes. Your name is everywhere. Everybody's talking about you. And you know what? I feel like God is using you as a vehicle to pull some of the other ones along as well, because God has his own people that's out there for examples that he put that cost on your shoulder. So, you know, I'm just excited. I'm ready to go vote. Is October 24th here yet?
Reverend King, I had to tell you what one of our other candidates who was coming on said to us the other day. She said, told her about, you know, that we were going to give her 30 minutes to talk. And she goes, well, I'm no Reverend King. I might not be able to do 30 minutes. I can't be Reverend King, but she really was. When she started talking, she was talking. But she's like, I can't be Reverend King. 30 minutes. So it was really good.
That was good. I love that.
She did. And we didn't even ask her that. She just said
no, we didn't. She just said it. She just said it.
And I hope your audience can tell I love what I do. And I do what I love. And I believe in the right thing. At the end of the day, I'm going to one day stand before my creator and give an account of my life. And therefore, I don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize my future. And so I'm going to always err on the side of caution. I'm going to always do the right thing. And so I think it's important that you understand that, you know, that I will be the kind of county judge that you'll be proud of. Our country will be proud of. And certainly the residents of Galveston County will be proud of. You give me an opportunity to serve you for the next 4 years, you're Galveston County judge. By the end of my first term, you'll be ready to elect me for a second term as your Galveston County judge. I will not abuse my our authority as county judge. I will not try to milk the county out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I will not try to become a millionaire as a Galveston County judge. I'll be the servant of the people of Galveston County. I'll work with the county commissioners that are on the commissioner's court. I'll work with the department heads that are elected. The sheriff is elected. The DA is elected. The treasurer is elected. The clerk is elected. And so therefore, I'll work with those individuals who are elected to make sure that departments have the things that they need. There'll be accountability with them as well, but we'll make sure we're building Galveston County and not breaking Galveston County. We'll make sure we're helping Galveston County and not hindering Galveston County. We'll make sure we are lifting, elevating Galveston County and not eroding Galveston County. I'll be the Galveston County judge that you will be proud of. Again, I won't abuse my power of authority. I won't try to squeeze the county out of tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I will not abuse my power to send people to the border or send money that belongs to the people to the border. What could have been done, Councilman King? What could have been done, Candidate King? You could have used those monies to bring agencies together to address the crime problem in Galveston County, to address the homicide problem in Galveston County, to address the issues of Galveston County. You could have used those monies to help the citizens. That's what it was designed for. The American Rescue Plan sent by President Biden to Galveston County was not designed to be sent to the border. That's a federal government responsibility.
Yes.
That's a federal government responsibility. And so our responsibility is to use those funds to take care of the citizen. You could have created a better system for more people could have gotten vaccinations, more people could have got testing, more resources could be made available in incentives like Harris County did to bring more citizens in to get their vaccination, their testing to save lives. At the end of the day, it's about people. But when you don't care, that's what happens. You reroute money, you redirect money. I'll be the kind of leader that you'll be proud of. You know that he's going to do the right thing and that you'll always be a part of my process. I'll be collaborating. I plan on having an Electric James Inspirational Talk Show, town hall in every city so that we're able to have a relationship and a pulse to know what the needs are in the unincorporated areas of Galveston County, as well as the resident municipal area of Galveston County. Now, I have no jurisdiction in those municipal areas as far as forcing things or making things done, because that's the mayor and the council's job. But I'll be sure I have a relationship with them, just like I plan to have a relationship with the school superintendents to make sure we're prepared in the event of a man-made disaster or a human disaster, a natural disaster. We have a plan and a policy to move people forward. At the end of the day, it's always about people and being able to make sure they're safe and they're able to enjoy the quality of life. And so I'll be able to have a collaboration with those municipal mayors and city councils for interlocal agreements, as far as creating flood mitigation resiliency, and having economic development, working with all the chambers of the municipalities to make sure we bring in jobs, high-paying jobs that would help our young people have a place where they can work and stay, play, and stay in Galveston County. Look at my kingforcountyjudge.com. Go to my social media, WHKingIII 2022, and you'll be able to see the wonderful benefits that will happen as a result of William H. King III being your next Galveston County judge. It's time for us to vote. You have enough information to go out there and vote, and you will vote for William H. King, your candidate for Galveston County judge. Vote from the top of the ticket to the bottom of the ticket, because there's individuals running for JP judge position, like Billy Williams running for that top of the ticket for governor. But you have to engage in the vote, because the vote determines the direction. The reality is your vote is your voice. You deserve a voice as a citizen. Our Constitution gives you a voice. Our Declaration of Independence allows us to be able to have that voice. And we're not going to let anybody scare us, bamboozle us, hood us, blindfold us, bring us down. We are going to vote, and we're going to vote. We're going to vote, and we're going to vote. We're going to vote. We're going to encourage others to vote. We're going to vote through our early voting, and on election day, we're going to pack the polls. We're going to vote.
Let's
go vote.
Let's go. Well, you nailed that.
That's right.
Oh, Reverend King, this was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. I'm going to check them in
right now. I think about a man by the name of John R. Lewis.
Yes.
John R. Lewis on the St. Edmunds Pettus Bridge on Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
Nearly lost his life.
Yeah.
His words were, "I thought I was going to die."
Yes.
When he was met by the bullies and the intimidators and the scare tactics and the poor leadership at the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and he was beaten, bloody, because people didn't want liberty and freedoms and democracy to be maintained for all citizens, red, yellow, black, and white, who are all precious in our creative sight. But right now, we refuse to go backwards. Because I think of John R. Lewis and John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act is waiting right now in the Senate to be passed. They won't move the filibuster. They won't move the filibuster and pass out the majority. But it must be passed. We must send people to Washington, D.C. that's going to do the right thing. You've got to go and vote. Because if you don't vote, the power and authority, the democracies and liberties that we enjoy, we're not going to see them. And it may take years to get this country back. And so it's time for us to see the need and responsibility. It's time for us to know our task, our job. That was their era back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's our era now in 2022. It's our job now in 2022. We've had our protests, we've had our marches, we've had our positional stances. Now it's time to take that to the ballot box. So if you march, if you stood up for anything in the last 5 years, it's time to go to the ballot box and vote. Let your voice.
If you were unhappy with anything that happened in the political arena, then you are responsible for taking action now. Because you, as a citizen, are the only ones who can make a change. You can make a change. But if you are there, we've talked about it enough. We know how terrible things have been. So let's not stop talking about how terrible things have been, and let's vote to make a change. Not just in Galveston County, but in Harris County, in Tarrant County, in Tyler County, all over. Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Listen, we're not in Russia. We're not in Russia. We're not in North Korea. You don't get a chance to vote. And if you have a vote, it's a rigged vote. It's a rigged vote. The United States of America, the most democratic country on the face of the earth. You have the voice and the power through your ballot box to cast your ballot and vote for people who have the mindset to do the right thing. Do it. Rise up. Maya Angelou said, still I rise. So rise up.
That's right.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? What can you do? What can you do? If you live in a $15,000 mobile home, what can you do? If you live in a poor project, what can you do? You can vote. That's
right. Everybody got the same.
You can take your ID, you can take your driver's license, and you can go to the poll. There are 24 polling places in Galveston County during early voting. There's 28 on election day. That's what you can do. You can take your ID and say, I'm going to vote. And if they take your voting place away from you like they did for UTMB, then UTMB doctors, UTMB nurses, UTMB technicians, UTMB janitorial staff, you go to the nearest polling place in Galveston, in Texas City, in League City, and you vote and let them know William H. King III is going to bring our polling place back. Come 2024.
All right.
We're going to have That's what I'm telling you. That's what you can do. That's what you can do.
That's right.
We're not in Russia. We're not in North Korea. We're in America, and you can vote.
That's right.
Let's go vote.
Let's go vote. I'm gonna tell you this before we get off to tonight, and Jackie knows this. Do you know how powerful what you're doing is?
What?
We got somebody, they wrote in, commented, they from another country. They done wrote, I can't understand their language. Jackie tried to translate
I understood it a little bit. I'm working on translating it, but basically what it was translated to was like, can he come here? I'll vote for him.
Yeah.
I don't know where here is. I think it
was
somewhere.
Yeah, it's not in this country because I looked that lady up, her name.
Yeah.
It's not in this country. She's not in this country. So you are reaching people. Go ahead, Jackie. Jackie, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's Portuguese. I think she's speaking Portuguese.
She do. She do.
But touching people all over the world.
All over the world. All over the world.
Yeah.
All over the world.
All right.
We have people all over the world. Yeah.
All over the world. Well, we got to get off for tonight. So Reverend King,
One-
okay, we went from 12,000 to 21,000. So I'm gonna check it next week. I'm gonna tell you what the numbers are.
That's right. Let's go higher. Let's go higher. Let's raise the roof. Raise the roof. William H. King III, your candidate for Galveston County Judge. Go to kingforcountyjudge.com. If you can donate $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, please donate. Help us to cross the finish line strong. Help us to finish the race strong. Help us to get the job accomplished. We need your donation. We need your help. Knocking on doors, making phone calls. kingforcountyjudge.com. kingforcountyjudge.com. Do the right thing and vote for King. Galveston.
Do the right thing.
I'll be at College of the Mainland. I'll be at College of the Mainland on October the 25th at 12:30. College of the Mainland, October 25th at 12:30. On Wednesday, I'll be at Crystal Beach. And on Saturday, I'll be in Friendswood. We're going all over this county. We're going to win Galveston County. We're going to win the 17 cities of Galveston County, and you're going to help get it done. Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you.
Okay.
Love it. I love it.
Yes. Us too.